have no like moral hang up about that. Um, when we talk about this, people will say, "Well, people shouldn't try, or you're just absolving people of this personal responsibility." And in fact, I'm not. I'm doing the opposite. What I'm saying is that there's no causal responsibility here related to the person and like their general quote goodness as far as like their intelligence goes, their work ethic or whatever. That's not causal. Their personal responsibility then is shifted towards what sort of things can be modified or done that are within their control, such that they can achieve a better outcome. And so to me, I think not only is that scientifically accurate, but it's also more actionable in a way that produces the outcome that we want. How does that strike you? I know that's a lot of terminology in there, but does that strike you as something you agree with?
Yeah, I think you're pulling together a lot of threads that we've touched on in previous podcasts here and there, and kind of coalescing it into a thesis that I suspect you'll be presenting in this episode. And fundamentally, I think it comes down to people's, base perception or understanding of excess adiposity, obesity. Is it purely an individual sort of thing? Is it purely like the person chose to be that way, for example, or have that result, or is it a more complex result of some degree of choices and some degree of behaviors that are more within their control, some behaviors that are less within their control, and a lot of it that is heavily influenced by things in the surrounding environment and world that are outside their control, that if they want to enact some behavior change and try to improve their body composition, lose weight and sustain it, for example, that they're going to have to not only fight against all of those things, most importantly, the surrounding environment that they live in, but they're going to have to keep up that fight forever unless the environment changes. And that's kind of what you're getting at with some of the Herculean efforts. Of course, as you said, some people can do it. And that's great for them, but that's not necessarily going to be the case for everyone. And I've done this before, and I might do a callback to it again later in the episode. But where we've talked about, for example, some people can deadlift 700. You know,
Yeah,
that
if
doesn't
you
mean
can
everyone
deadlift
can, right?
700,
And
why
some
can't everyone?
yeah,
Yeah.
and some people, should they want to achieve that outcome, they might need a little bit of help. Might need some medications, might need some surgery, like an exoskeleton to facilitate them being able to lift that weight. And so it's just shifting this kind of population bell curve uh, towards a particular outcome. Here, it's more for health, could be towards performance, whatever the case is. So that's kind of a solid preamble setting the stage for this topic.
All right, well, let's talk about it.